Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be reacting to the report made by Albert Breer that the Washington football team is preparing to take a big swing at the quarterback position this offseason. So we'll go over a few options, including Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, and a few other options, and if I think any of those options are realistic at all. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. I'm so close to 7,000 subscribers, so please help me get there. Also, hit that like button and turn on those notifications, and follow my Twitter. I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers on there. Now, let's get right into the video. I don't think this report should, shock people at all. I mean, we've been getting reports from a bunch of different people that the Washington football team is going to try to take a big swing to get a quarterback like Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, and some of these other guys. I mean, why wouldn't they try to go out there and get one of these guys? Doesn't mean that they're going to go out and be able to trade for them, because it takes two teams to be able to do that. But they for sure know they need an upgrade at the quarterback position. And I mean, we'll see if they end up trading for one of these guys, but this should not come, at a surprise. I mean, Albert Breer did this story. Mike Silver did another story talking about, Washington's going to swing big. Ben Standig has talked about it. John Keim, everyone. We know they're going to try to get a quarterback. The real question is, will they be able to? So we're going to discuss that in today's video. I'll read the report a little bit from Albert Breer right here. So he said, "We got another team for you that'll be all the way into the 2022 quarterback derby. The Washington football team is preparing to take a big swing at a quarterback this offseason per team sources. The team has just one quarterback, veteran Taylor Heineke, under contract for next year, more than $40 million of cap space to work with, and the 11th pick in the draft. Last year, Washington threw its hat into the ring on Matthew Stafford, initially offering the 21st pick and a third rounder for them, but then upping its offer. Talks stalled when the Lions asked for a player in return before the Rams got more aggressive. After that, they went to plan B, signing Ryan Fitzpatrick, and he got injured week 1. So now on to what they're going to try to do this offseason as their effort to find its next franchise quarterback. With big names like Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, and Deshaun Watson potentially out there, Washington feels like it has plenty to pitch such a veteran. While brand share free agency looms, Washington had the 6th-ranked, offensive line per PFF last year, and its depth was proven through significant absences that led to the coaches going to their 4th center, 4th tackle, and 4th and 5th guards. So, I mean, this isn't really any news at all. I mean, he doesn't really mention that they're, interested in any particular guys. I mean, he named, Aaron Rodgers, Wilson, and Watson, but I mean, that's kind of obvious. I mean, if those guys are available, of course Washington is going to try to do whatever they can to get one of those guys. I honestly think Aaron Rodgers will likely stay in Green Bay, and even if he does leave, if let's say he does leave Green Bay, there's like a 5% chance he would even come here. So I'm really taking Aaron Rodgers out of the equation. Russell Wilson, I don't know if he's going to be available. I'll say there's like a 40% chance he becomes available, maybe a little bit less than that. And then his chance of coming here is much higher than Aaron Rodgers, because he's got more time than Rodgers. I think he's more patient. He grew up in this area, in Southern Virginia. So I think that Russell Wilson would be more realistic. But again, don't know if he's available. And then Deshaun Watson, I think he will be. He will be available. No question about that. The question is, will he come to Washington earlier? It was a hard no. He wasn't going to waive his no trade clause. But he really wanted to go to Miami with Brian Flores, but now he is gone from there. We'll see if he gets a head coaching job, but that was his preferred destination. He didn't really waive his no trade clause to many other teams, so maybe now with Brian Flores not in Miami, he'll waive his no trade clause to come here. Washington, though, will still have to give up a ton to get him, a minimum, 3 first-round picks. I believe that's the most you can trade. That's the maximum amount of first-round picks you can send in one trade, I believe, is 3 firsts. So they're going to have to do that. Probably a couple seconds and then a player on that D-line. It's going to take a lot, but in my opinion, it would be worth it for someone like Deshaun Watson. The other name there, he didn't mention in here, is Jimmy G, and I really do not want Jimmy G. Yes, Jimmy G is an upgrade over Heineke. I mean, I think so. I think it's pretty clear he is an upgrade over Heineke, but he is not like a top half of the league starter in my opinion. He's a below average starter, and he's playing in a really good situation, so who knows what he does here. It did not play well in the playoffs, and I'll give him that, he was hurt. He had a hand injury and a shoulder injury, but, he still wasn't great in the regular season when he was healthy. He had some, had his moments, but also had some bad moments as well. So Jimmy G is not a guy I would trade for. I would be okay giving up maximum a third, and even that is too much, but I know it's probably going to cost more. It's probably going to be like a third and a fifth, maybe even a second round pick and something. And I'm just not willing to give up, that for a guy who is not that great. And, he is a good game manager. He can win you games, but he's not going to elevate the players around, and you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to extend him. So in my opinion, it would not be worth it to trade for Jimmy G unless we can get him for cheap. And I honestly just rather go for another free agent like Jameis Winston. You're going to have to pay him way less. You won't have to trade for him. Even someone like Mitch Trubisky, who I'm not a big fan of, but I think I'd rather just have him for a year than not only have to give up assets for Garoppolo, but also pay him a ton of money. You guys can see some of the rest of the article, just kind of hyping up the Washington offense, very, very similar to like what Ron Rivera has been saying, and kind of Mike Silver's piece as well. So he kind of said, there's other factors, living in DC and being on the front end of a team rebrand that will be unveiled on Wednesday. And that is a good point. For someone like Russell Wilson, I think that would be an attraction for him to possibly come here, kind of being part of the rebrand. I think that's something that would interest him. Let's see. So if you put all that together, there's reason to pay attention for Washington as the football team again throws its hat in the ring. There's no guarantee, of course, that Ron Rivera, Mayhew, and Hurney reel in their big fish in March or April, and the failed pursuit of Stafford is proof. But if they don't land one, it sure won't be because their line isn't in the water. And, I mean, we've said this for a while. They're going to do everything they can to try to get a franchise quarterback, and they should. The question is, how many of these guys are available? I mean, Aaron Rodgers can pretty much throw him out of the window. He's not going to be available, in my opinion. He's probably not going to be available, and definitely I don't think he will come to the Washington football team. It would be great. He's got a few more years in him if he wants to play those years, but I don't see him coming to Washington. Russell Wilson, there's definitely more of a chance, and I would give up a ton to get someone like Russell Wilson, who even in a down year this year, playing with an injury, had 25 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. The year before, 40 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. And, I mean, you just go down the list. 31-5, 35-7, 34-11. I mean, he's a franchise quarterback, elite quarterback when he's healthy. And he's usually healthy. I mean, he's only missed 2 games in his whole career. He's a guy I want on my team. Great leader. And he would be the face of the franchise and, bring this team into contention. Obviously a playoff team with Russell Wilson. I think we're neck and neck right there with the Cowboys and probably even ahead of them if we're able to stay healthy. But again, you're going to have to give up a ton for him. I think he's under contract for a couple more years. And then Deshaun Watson, obviously, he will be available, but will he come to Washington? I don't know, but if he gets, and another question is, will he even get cleared? Because, I mean, I'm not trading for him if he's not cleared because you don't know if he's going to be able to play. But, I mean, he's a franchise quarterback, 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions the last season he played. And he led the league in passing yards with 4,800 and also had 444 rushing yards with 3 touchdowns. I mean, he's elite, young, under contract for a lot, I think 4 more years. So he's a guy, if he is cleared, that you want on your team, and I definitely would trade a ton to try to get him. And, especially they should be aggressive as they can because the NFC is wide open in my opinion. I mean, the top quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers, who knows first off if he's going to stay in Green Bay, and then also, I mean, I don't think he has that many years. He seems like a guy that might retire early. Brady just retired. You got Russell Wilson, who might be on the move, and then Kyler Murray and, Dak Prescott. I mean, all the best quarterbacks most of them are in the AFC. You got Herbert, Burrow, Allen, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, And I'm missing some others. You got some young guys as Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson. So they've got a lot of talent over there in the AFC and still have Deshaun Watson. So we'll see. I think Washington should try to be aggressive. I think they will. But at the end of the day, I really don't think they're going to be able to land any of these big guys. And yeah, I kind of agree with Ben Standig. This isn't really big news, but I just want to make another video, going over our different options at the quarterback position, which one I think is most realistic. And I think it's probably Jimmy G, but I really wouldn't want to do it. I mean, and Derek Carr, he's another guy that they could trade for, but I don't think he's going to leave with Josh McDaniels, them hiring him. And then there's one little quick update on the name change thing. Nothing, any news about the name, but just more about when it's going to come out. So this is from Stanek. The local media has been advised to assemble at FedEx Field by 8 a.m. So somewhere around then, maybe 8:30, that's when it'll probably happen. So, not too late, but not too early at the same time. So I think it's a good time. And yeah, I'm not really excited for the name because it's likely that it's Commanders, but if it's not, that'll be exciting to see what it is. But I'm more excited to see the uniforms and the logo. That'll be nice to see, and I will have a video out as soon as it comes out for you guys, so stay tuned for that. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. Peace, guys.